There is no one single method. If we look at venture capital funds, most of our deals typically come through our network. So let's say, Varun, you know a startup. You might ping me tomorrow saying that, Mama, this is a company that I know. I think these are good guys. I think you might want to talk to them, right? And we call that a network-oriented deal flow. Sometimes there are spaces where we are interested. We are not waiting for startups to reach out to us, but we actually reach out to them proactively. So like in the second half of 2018, I was very interested in the electric vehicle space. I reached out to 100 companies at that point in that space to talk to them. They were not necessarily looking to reach out to me at that point, but I reached out to them. So that happens also. And there are also bankers. So there are intermediaries who can help you raise funding. And those are called investment bankers who sort of in between. But those are all the different ways in which connection between a venture capital fund and a startup happens. And this part is what we refer to as sourcing from a venture capital fund perspective. There are two things about every deal. There is a market, and then there is a team. To be able to invest, you need to believe that this is a great market, and you also need to believe that this is a great team in that great market. So most of our effort, if you look at what do we do on a day in, day out basis, we are either trying to figure out attractive markets, and which is what we call developing thesis, or we are evaluating startups in an attractive market, which is where we are doing diligence on founders. So we will do a lot of ref checks. We will speak to customers of the startup. We will try and use their products ourselves. We will do some comparative analysis. We'll do a bunch of things before we arrive at a judgment on whether to invest or not to invest. In a typical portfolio of a venture fund, so let's assume that you have 20 companies in a fund. It's very common that by the time you reach the end of year 10, you will find that 1/3 of the companies that we invest in, they actually die. They no longer exist. And that could happen in the second year, in the third year, in the fourth year. But because it's very high risk, that risk has to show itself in some mortality also. So it's very common for many startups to just die. There is another third of our portfolio that will barely give us our money back. So let's say if we put $1 million behind a startup, maybe we'll get 1 time our money, maybe 1.5 times, maybe 2x our money. But usually we just get a very small multiple of our money in another 1/3. But it's the last 1/3 that really matters to us. This is where we end up making 5 to 50x maybe of the amount of money that we put in behind these startups. And we expect that those 1/3 of the startups will make up for all the losses that we have had from the rest of the portfolio. And in general, as an investor, when we are investing, we are not looking for safe investing. We are not saying that when we invest, we will get our money back. We are asking the question that if I put my money into it, am I going to make 10 times, 20 times, 50 times, 100 times my capital? That's the bet that we are looking to take at that point in time.